Hello everyone. Once again I'm here before you all with figures of speech. I hope I was successful making you all understand what are figures of speech. Let me repeat this, that as parts of speech, as your body parts, and figures of speech that through which you decorate yourselves being impressive. So figures of speech are the words, are phrases to enhance beauty of the sentences, to enhance beauty of your paragraph, beauty of your composition. In last session, we completed 5 figures of speech: alliteration, anaphora, metaphor, simile, and onomatopoeia. In this session also, we are going to cover another 5, that are irony, personification, oxymoron, synecdoche, and one more we can say paradox. So let us start with the 6th one, as we have covered 5 already. So the 6th one is irony. Irony is very simple to understand. Irony, when in a sentence there is contradiction between what is said and what is meant. मतलब जो बात कही जाए उसका अर्थ कुछ और हो, उसका मतलब कुछ और हो, having another sense, that is called irony. In other words, irony is also considered as sarcasm, satire, but it is commonly known in the list of figures of speech as irony. Example: so this is the example. Let me read it for you. Due to an accident, when I appeared before her in tattered clothes, she said, "Beautiful." So from this example you can understand the term beautiful does not exactly mean that the man was or the boy was looking beautiful, looking handsome, looking pretty, looking whatever. Meaning was just opposite, that he was not looking good. But the term is being used here as beautiful. Beautiful, she said, when I appeared before her in tattered clothes just after an accident or due to an accident. One more example. In this sentence, in this particular sentence, this sort of irony is called verbal irony. Verbal means shabdik, shabd. Now next example of situational irony. In situation, a traffic inspector or a traffic cop is fined due to non-payment of his traffic ticket, parking tickets. Once more, a traffic inspector was penalized due to non-payment of his parking tickets. This is situational irony. Why irony? Because you can expect from a traffic inspector, from a traffic cop, from a traffic police that they should follow the rules, then only they can make us to follow the rules. And if they are penalized for non-payment of parking tickets or parking, so this is situational irony. Now next, 7th one, that is Personification, very simple to understand. That personification, when living objects is shifted to non-living objects, are the characters of living beings is shifted, is transferred through sentences to non-living objects is personification. Example: the flowers nodded. You know that a flower is a non-living object. यह एक निर्जीव चीज है. But here the flower is performing, or the flowers are performing some action. Nodded. Basically, this action is associated with human beings or on living beings, animals and all. But here it is associated with flowers. So that is called personification. Why? Because here flowers are acting as a person, as a living being. One more example. I hope this is very famous example. I am silver and exact. So this line has been extracted from a very famous poem, The Mirror, composed by Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath की एक poem है, The Mirror. Initially it was in the syllabus in class 10th high school. So here mirror is talking about itself, that I am silver and exact. So once again you can see that here mirror is associated with some sort of activities that is expected from living beings, is performed by the mirror. That is why here figure of speech in this sentence is personification. Next in the list, that is one of the very famous figures of speech that we all should know about, this oxymoron. Oxymoron is a kind of figures of speech where we use two terms with opposite meaning. Means two words with opposite meaning. Means they contradict one another, each other. Example: you can see that here. Example: completely incomplete. One more: silently violent. You can see that silently and violent together, though they have different meaning individually. Same in the first term, completely incomplete. In first term we are talking about something to complete, but the next word that is talking about incomplete. So completely incomplete. So when such sort of words that what is this figures of speech? Synecdoche. Synecdoche means when we talk about whole as a part and vice versa. Means either whole as a part or a part as a whole. That is called synecdoche. This figures of speech. Better to understand with an example. So here example: palace on wheels. So if you pay attention here, wheels. So here wheels means maybe a train, maybe a bus, maybe a car, anything. So here wheels is talking about all sort of vehicles. Though it is a very famous train, Palace on Wheels. I think it is in Rajasthan if I am not wrong. Though my GK is not that much strong. But I can remind that this train Palace on Wheels. Another example. Coke. Coca-Cola too. So here Coke means any kind of cola drink. Coca-Cola means cola. That cola, any sort of drink, cola drink is represented by a word here, Coke. So when these sort of words that presenting as a whole, as a part, that sort of figures of speech is called, that sort of words that enhance beauty in your writing, in your speaking is called synecdoche. And today's last figures of speech, number 10, that is paradox. What is this paradox? Paradox is a kind of figures of speech when we define the first part of the sentence. The first part of the sentence is made more clear or is extended with some meaning to understand better is called paradox. Example that through example it will be clear to you all. This is the beginning of what? Of the end. So you see that first part of the sentence now extended to clear the meaning, having contradictory phrase. So when a contradictory phrase is used in latter part of the sentence, that is called paradox. One more example. Your victory lies in your failure. So, your victory lies where? That in your failure. आपकी हार में ही आपकी जीत है. Right? You might have seen the movie. जो हार कर भी जीते वो बाजीगर कहलाता है and all sort of things. So that is the sentence. Your victory lies in your failure. We are talking about two contradictory things, two contradictory phrases that are put together in a sentence, and first part of the sentence is being explained, extended to make the meaning more clear of the sentence. That sort of thing is called paradox in figures of speech. So till now we have done 10 figures of speech. I hope all these will help you in your composition when you sit to compose the poem or whatever, the prose, poetry, fiction, drama, whatever ideas, thoughts, any sort of composition. So this is going to help you. Why? Because all these enhance the beauty of your writing, the beauty of your speaking. So I expect from you all that you will practice these sort of things. We have already done all sort of structures with tense and voice, and then we have done with all direct and indirect narration, reported speech. So all these sort of things are going to help you for your better speaking, for your better writing, if you practice it sincerely. In next episode, in next session, I'll be coming up with another topic. Till then, goodbye.